Hello everyone. Today I will discuss Newton-Raphson method of load flow analysis. As you all know, load flow analysis, this is the unit third of power system analysis. So in this method mainly we discuss the Gauss-Seidel method and Newton-Raphson method. As you know, in the last lecture I have already discussed Gauss-Seidel method. So now today Newton-Raphson method. So before the Newton-Raphson method, let us brief review of static load flow equations. If we say a nodal analysis for ith bus, then this is given by equation number 1, and nodal analysis, after nodal analysis, and if we check the complex power injected to ith bus, then we have these two equations, P and equation number 6 and equation number 7, these two equations. Here equations 6 and 7 are called the static load flow equations, SLFE, where 6 is the PI, real power flow, and QI, reactive power flow. And this equation number 5, this is the complex power in polar form. So rectangular form and polar form, there are two forms available. So Newton-Raphson method for load flow analysis. There are two methods of solution for the load flow using Newton-Raphson method. The first method uses rectangular coordinates for the variables, while the second method uses the polar coordinate form. So the polar coordinate method is widely used. So start with equation for II. So II, that is equal to summation of k equal to 1 to n yik vk, angle of delta k plus theta ik. This is from SLFE, static load flow equations, right? So complex power SI, that is equal to PI plus JQI or VI into II star. So this can also be written as VI angle delta I summation k equal to 1 to n yik vk, angle minus of delta k minus theta ik. So here equation number 3 is the complex power in polar coordinate form, VI vk yik, angle of delta I minus delta k minus theta ik. So if we separate real and imaginary, then we have real power PI by equation number 4 and reactive power QI by equation number 5. These equation 4 and 5 are also written as equation number 6 and equation number 7. So here this can also be written as PI, that is equal to VI yii cos theta I plus summation k equal to 1 to n and k not equal to I, right? VI vk yik cos of delta I minus delta k minus theta ik. Similarly, equation number 7 for reactive power. Now if delta Pi, that is equal to Pi Sp minus Pi Cal, here Sp means specified value, Cal means calculated value. So if delta Pi change in real power, that is Pi specified minus Pi calculated, here I not equal to slack. In load flow analysis, slack bus, PQ bus, PV bus, right? So I not equal to slack. And the delta Qi, that is equal to Qi specified minus Qi calculated if I not equal to slack and I not equal to PV. This is the condition. So in matrix form we can write delta P, delta Q, H N M L delta 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 V, or this can also be written as delta F, that is equal to J into delta X. Okay, so very important equation number 8. Now the off diagonal and diagonal elements of sub matrices H, N, M, L are determined by differentiating equations 6 and 7 as in previous slide with respect to delta and V, right? So now the off diagonal element of H, so written here HIK del Pi over delta delta K, equation number 6. Then we have Vi, Vk, Yik sine of delta I minus delta K minus theta Ik. Here I not equal to K, see here. And diagonal elements Hii, this can be found by delta Pi over delta delta I. So we have equation number 10. Now from equation number 7, we can also write delta Pi over delta delta I is equal to minus Qi plus Vi square Yii sin theta Ii, or this is equal to Hii from equation number 10. This can also be written as Hii equal to minus Qi minus Vi square Yii sin theta Ii. So here Hii can also be written as minus Qi minus Vi square, where Vi equal to Yii sin theta Ii. Right. Now the off diagonal and diagonal elements of N. Similarly, the off diagonal and diagonal elements of N can be written as Nik delta Pi over delta Vk, right? So we have equation number 12, and Nii delta Pi over delta Vi, we have equation number 13. Similarly, the off diagonal and diagonal elements of M written as Mik, this is your delta Qi over delta delta K, then equation number 14, and Mii delta Qi over delta delta I, we have equation number 15. Similarly, the off diagonal and diagonal elements of L, right? Equation number 16 and 17. So it is seen from the elements of the Jacobian that there is no symmetry in the results. So now multiplying and dividing by V, the voltage magnitude increment delta V to bring symmetry in the result. Okay, the voltage magnitude increment delta V to bring symmetry in the result. So we have delta P, previous equation, that is equal to H delta delta plus N into delta V over V into V, and similarly delta Q, that is equal to M delta delta plus L delta V over V into V. Let us suppose Vn, V into N equal to N dash and VL equal to L dash. Then we have equation number 18, delta P delta Q H N dash M L dash delta 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 V by V. So in this case HIK, that is equal to L dash Ik, and Nik dash equal to minus Mik. So this property of symmetry of elements reduces the computer time storage. Okay, now treatment of generator bus. This is the part of Newton-Raphson method. For a generator bus, the reactive power Qi is not specified, but the voltage magnitude delta V is specified. So if we say Vi equal to Vi dash plus JVi double dash, Vi square equal to Vi dash square plus Vi double dash square कर दिया, then all the generator buses, the variable delta Qi is to be replaced by delta Vi square. Okay, so from the previous relations. Now the elements of M, we have Mik, that is delta Vi square by delta delta K, this is equal to 0, I not equal to K, and Mii, this is also equal to 0, and elements of L, Lik and Lii, this is 2Vi square. Okay, so this is all for treatment for generator bus, treatment of generator bus. Now this is the flow chart for load flow solution using Newton-Raphson method in polar coordinates. Very important. This flow chart is very important. Okay, each and every one very, इसको बहुत ध्यान से देखिए. Start, read load flow data and form Y bus. Next step, assume initial bus voltage Vi for I equal to 2, 3 up to n. Set iteration count R equal to 0. Calculate Pi R for all buses except slack bus. Calculate Qi R for all PQ bus. Then calculate power mismatch. Okay. Next point, calculate delta PR max and delta QR max change. Okay. Now if delta PR max much less or equal to epsilon and delta QR max less or equal to epsilon. Epsilon denotes the tolerance level of the load buses, right? If answer is S, calculate the line flow and power at the slack bus and print. Then stop. If no, then calculate the elements of Jacobian H and ML. Solve equations. Update bus voltages and phase angles and advance iteration count from R to R plus and so on. So this is the flow chart of Newton-Raphson method. Now advantages and disadvantages, advantages and limitations. So some advantages: Newton-Raphson method possesses quadratic convergence characteristics, therefore the convergence is very fast. The number of iterations are independent of the size of the system. Solution to a high accuracy is obtained nearly always in 2 to 3 iterations for both small and large system. The NR method convergence is not sensitive to the choice of slack bus. Overall, there is a saving in computation time since fewer number of iterations are required for convergence. So some advantages of Newton-Raphson method and limitations. Here number 1, the solution technique is difficult. It takes longer time as the elements of the Jacobian are to be computed for each iterations. This is the main part for Newton-Raphson method. The computer memory requirement is large. So overall, the NR method is more complicated than GS method. Okay. Now here, decoupled load flow method. Another method. In a power system operating in a steady state, there is a strong interdependence between active powers and bus voltage angles. Similarly, there is a strong interdependence between reactive powers and voltage magnitudes. Thus, real power changes delta P are less sensitive to changes in voltage magnitude and are mainly sensitive to change in bus voltage angles. Similarly, the reactive power changes delta Q are less sensitive to changes in angles and are mainly sensitive to change in voltage magnitude. Okay. So in other words, the coupling between active power P and bus voltage magnitude V is relatively weak. Similarly, the coupling between reactive power Q and bus voltage phase angle is also weak. So this weak coupling is utilized in the development of decoupled load flow method, DLF method, in which P is decoupled from delta V and Q is decoupled from delta delta. So this is main why decoupled load flow method. Okay. Now from equation number 18 in our method, we have this equation delta P delta Q. Here this is S0 0 L dash delta V over delta V. N dash and M are neglected here, right? So equation number 2, delta P equal to this, and equation number 3, delta Q is this. So as we know that L less IK and HII, from the previous relations you can easily solve, you can easily find, and LII. So we can solve equation 2 3 simultaneously at each iterations H and L matrices are updated in each iteration using these equations. Okay, so decoupled load flow method requires less memory in storing the Jacobian as compared to the NR method, right? So this is the main line. However, the time required per iteration of the DLF method is practically the same as that of NR method. In DLF method, more number of iterations are required for convergence because of the approximations made in it. Okay, so more number of iterations are required for convergence in DLF method. And there is one method more, fast decoupled load flow, FDLF, just similar to the DLF. In FDLF method, following approximations are made in evaluating Jacobian elements. So they are the some assumptions: cos delta I minus delta k approximately equal to 1, sin delta I minus delta k approximately equal to 0, bik that is equal to yik sin theta ik, and qi much less than bii vi square. So hik that is equal to lik, and the value is this. Lii that is equal to hii, the value is this. So from this delta p and delta q, the value is this, and here bik that is equal to minus bik dash, where bik and bik double dash are the elements of minus bik matrices. Okay, so it's all about FDLF method, fast decoupled load flow method. Okay, so thank you very much. Wish you all good luck.